were Manchester United robbed. You had a penalty decision at one end that was not given, and then in very similar circumstances, there are some slight differences to it, but some very similar circumstances, and within a very short period of time, a penalty given at the other end of the ground against Manchester United. What's your answer to the question? Were they robbed? Strong word, robbed, did it? It is strong word. But let's be honest, one referee, similar incidents, gave one, didn't give the other.
All we ask for is consistency. That's it. Bottom line, consistency. But it's always in the perception of what the referee looks like and how he sees it and what position of the pitch he's at. But then you got VAR to scrub that all out. But he doesn't want to know. So what can you do? You just got to go with it. And football, even though VAR has been strenuous, it always evens itself out for each club at certain points. But right now, when you come to the end of it, you want them to all go your way. And sometimes that consistency of the referee, that's all you're asking for, and they don't deliver.
The slight differences between the incidents for me, just from the naked eye looking at it, is that Evan Nilsson is running at what I would class as a greater pace than what Ahmad is going at when he gets touched. I personally think both of them are penalties. I think the Man United one should have been given. It wasn't. And then obviously a moment later, the Bournemouth one does get given. You've just mentioned VAR there. I personally, again, this is just my own opinion, I don't think that they're clear and obvious. It's my own opinion. I just personally think that both of them are penalties. And if VAR, if you don't give it, I don't think it can stick its beak in and then flip it and turn it the other way around.
But they do stick their beak in quite a lot.
Well, they do, yeah, and you want that consistency, of course you do. And then at the other end, of course, you're given the penalty, and I don't think it can stick its beak in and then not give the penalty, if that makes sense.
So what are they seeing?
I just think the referee's not got it right. I think if you put your hands on someone... And,
straight away,
and make a physical move towards them, knock them off balance.
Yeah, you're leaving yourself open.
You're leaving yourself wide open for obviously giving away a foul. I'll tell you what, we'll get some calls on, because obviously Man United fans will have an opinion on this. 03717 22 33 Richard, how are you, mate?
Hi, mate. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm sound, pal. How are you?
Yeah, to be honest with you, not well. How has that happened? Right? He's like you said, he's had his arm on his shoulder. He's pulled him down. Yeah. No penalty. Yeah. Maguire's hardly touched him. Straight red card.
Well, the reason for the straight red card is because they've deemed it that he's going clean. He's going clean through on goal. He's about to.
But you just said Evan Nilsson's not pointing the right way around. So how's it a goal scoring opportunity if he's not even pointing the right way around?
What? What do you mean he's pointing the right way around?
He's not facing the right way around.
He's got his back to goal. He's got his back to goal when he goes down.
He means he's got his back to goal, so he's not.
No,
he's not facing the goal.
Yeah, but if Maguire doesn't touch him, he wouldn't have his back to goal, would he? He would be going straight through on the goalkeeper.
Well, yeah, maybe, but if Ahmad is given as a penalty, then.
The second incident doesn't happen, yeah. You're 100% right. Yeah, you're 100% right. Listen, I personally think both of them are penalties, but the referee's missed the first one, of which has then cost you all 3 points.
Yeah, exactly. And to be fair, they're trying really hardest to win a football game. And if someone's, right.
But you do struggle when you go to Bournemouth, didn't you? You do struggle.
Yeah,
they always give you a hard game.
And I actually thought to control the game for once, right?
I completely agree. I think you did control the game, but the problem was maybe it wasn't as clinical as you should have been. Maybe in the first half, there should have been a couple of goals in there.
Bruno was good today. Bruno was really.
I thought Cunha was really good.
Cunha as well. They were really good. So
yeah, I think there's a lot of positives to come out of that for Manchester United. I just think maybe the creative element, and you've got to probably put this down to the organisation of Bournemouth. The defensive
that's credit.
I thought were bang on, and therefore the opportunity to create maybe weren't there as much as they have been in previous games of Manchester United. But I think United did control the game. I think they should have come out of that game with 3 points, and I've no doubt. But I've no doubt that it's an even more sour taste because the referee's missed what I would class as a relatively straightforward decision. I thought that he did have his hands on him and it should have been a penalty. Lauren, how are you?
I'm not happy.
I could tell in your voice, Lauren. Come on,
like
get it. Go for it.
Get it off your chest.
I'm not going to lie. You said then about the referees missed it, yes, but that's what VAR's for.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
is it clear and obvious? In your mind, is it clear and obvious?
Well, yeah, I think it's a blatant penalty, and ultimately the second penalty, the Bournemouth one that was given, I'm on about Ahmad's not being given here.
Yeah.
You know, ultimately, it's pretty much identical. You know, I can't understand how, if the ref has missed it, fine.
Yeah.
But how has VAR not pulled it back? Because honestly, I'm fuming. It should have been 3-0.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't, and that's why you're saying.
That's why we're in.
That's why we're in. That's why you're upset. But
This is a different game, right?
listen,
if we'd have got the second goal,
yeah.
if they'd have pulled it back for the penalty, I can't see Bournemouth ever coming back from that.
Would you say it's a? Well, would you say now, like, things are evening out? Because there have been points since Michael Carrick's tenure where you have had the rub of the green. Do you know what I mean? You have been lucky in certain aspects and getting last minute goals and no, you have, but you've stayed in the game and then it's gone your way and then you've won the game. You know? Do you think that's kind of now evening out?
I mean, if you can give me one good example, maybe.
I'll give you one. The last goal against West Ham, when you came to draw it, and we should have taken all 3 points at West Ham.
I love how you say we. Zero bias.
But Šeško's been good for you, but he didn't come up. No, listen, I know. Listen, we're all tribal here.
I genuinely feel Šeško actually should have played a bigger part tonight. Maybe not the whole game. I think he's a good impact sub. I don't think we've got really anybody else who can do that part. But I think coming on to the second half, in my opinion, Mbeumo was awful. Had a poor game. I think second half, we missed a lot of chances in the first half. Fair play, you know, the Bournemouth keeper was brilliant. I think he made some incredible saves. It could have been 2 or 3 in the first half.
I think that's the story, Lauren. I think that's the story of the game, really. I think the first half, you could have had it done. And it just comes down to maybe that last pass for that bit of creativity. And obviously, I've credited Bournemouth for the defending there. But then when the opportunities did come, were you clinical enough? And I think Man United absolutely controlled the game. I actually think it's one of the best games for Man United control that I've seen for quite some time.
Yeah. To be honest, I'm just gutted, right? I do genuinely feel we were robbed of a win. And I'm also gutted for Maguire. I think he's been different gravy since Carrick's come in. Fair. I think he's been brilliant. I think he deserves the call up for England. Yeah. I'm going to watch him next week against Uruguay. Can't wait. But yeah, I think he deserves it, and I think he's unlucky. I understand what you're saying, that it's a goal-scoring opportunity, but I think it's a little harsh. I thought it was a bit soft, personally.
Fair points. I think absolutely. I think you made fair points there. The interesting debate is going to be where your heads are at when you listen to us talk about it. Whether you think it's clear and obvious, because that's what Lauren was just alluding to there, wasn't she? Talking about the VAR aspect of it. I personally think it's a penalty. Is it clear and obvious? Can it be interpreted in a different way?
You need to ask the refereeing federation for that, because some of their decisions, and I'm not blaming them.
It's just two very similar things, and he's given one.
It just depends how they see it. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, and you know, they kind of nitpick. Do you know what I mean? On some of these decisions, and it's a bit weird the way they come up with an answer, and it just doesn't make sense, because it was the exact same thing that happened on the other side of the pitch, but they didn't give it. So I'd love to hear what their analysis on it is, because it's really, really, it bothers me. It bothers me.
Kyle, how are you, mate?
Hiya, mate. I'm all right. All I want to say is that first goal, right, for Bournemouth, that was a clear and obvious foul, as you've just said. For me, that's a clear and obvious foul on Ahmad, right? They've gone up the other end and scored. For me, that is a clear and obvious. He's literally pulled him by the chest. He's fallen over, and they've literally counter-attacked up the other end and scored.
The thing is, right, Carl, my look at it, right, I personally think that both of them are fouls, right? But they're soft fouls, both of them, aren't they? They're fouls, but they're soft fouls. Let's be dead straight about it.
Hang on, though. Harry Maguire, is that a red?
Well, if you've given the foul,
that's not a red
yeah, but
card,
listen,
man.
if you've given the foul, it is a red because the lad's about to go and put the ball in the back of the net.
Right, so the double jeopardy law states if it's inside the box, right, it's a yellow card and a penalty. If it's outside the area, it's a straight red.
We'll have to fact check that because you can't just be coming there staking claims like that.
No. Listen, that used to be the law. I don't know if it still is.
Yeah, we have to fact check that.
I don't
because the law changes all the time.
It does change all the time. That used to. I definitely know that used to be the thing. I don't know if it is still the season.
I think that's why there's so much confusion these days in the game because, so my opinion is that is a yellow card and a penalty. Fair play. Yeah, yes, he's pulled him. That for me is never a red card. Yes, Harry Maguire stepped across him, but it's not a straight red. It's definitely not a straight red card. There was no intent to injure anyone or anything at all. That's definitely not a straight red card.
Fair.
Yes, penalty. I'll take it.
No, it's not malicious at all.
Do you
it's
feel
not malicious, and it's not clumsy?
Do you feel like you've been robbed?
No, I wouldn't say robbed. I think Man United, we're in a great place this season. I think since Michael Carrick has come in, we've been fantastic. I do want him to stay.
You're giving the job full time?
I mean, if we get Champions League football next season, 100%. I think he deserves it. I don't think anyone can take it away from him.
Fair. Yeah. Kyle, top man, thanks for being on the show, mate. Let's keep them coming. Who have we got? We've got Kedgeman. How are you, mate?
Good,
Kedge.
man. How are you?
Kedge, how are you, mate? You good?
Yeah, I'm good. I just can't believe what Carlton Cole's going on about there.
What do you mean?
Talking nonsense. Like he's talking about the rub of the green. And he's saying that we should have, it all evens out in the end and all that kind of stuff. That's nonsense.
Why?
It was unfair. Call it as it is.
It does, mate.
Unfair.
Listen, mate. I'm saying it does happen to every team in the league. It goes your way sometimes and it don't go your way sometimes. It's just the way it is. And I'm not saying that you're...
Tell me where the refereeing decision went for us then.
You've had it
10, 15 games. When?
So it's never gone your. It's never gone your way.
No, in the last 10, 15 games, you can't give me one example of when it went our way. Give me one.
No, I'm just saying in football in general. I'm not sort of talking about you and Man United. I'm just talking about you in general.
No, but you said it was.
No. But it happens in football. Listen.
In the end and all that.
Listen, mate. Relax. Calm down. Yeah, calm down.
I'm so relaxed.
You've come here. You've attacked me. I'm telling you. In football, and not just, it's not just Man United. It's not just Man United. It's every team. It goes both ways. Do you understand?
It does.
Sometimes it goes your way, and you're saying it hasn't gone your way this season at all.
I'm not. No. When did I say this? When did those words come out of my mouth?
I said it evens itself. My words were it evens itself out eventually.
No. You were talking about that in the last 10, 15 games.
I didn't say a number of games. I didn't say a number. I didn't say a number of games.
You made the last minute winner against Fulham. You just said that.
No, against West Ham. Against West Ham.
How was that rub of the green? We deserved that goal. It was a great
I don't think you
finish.
did. I don't think you did deserve the goal.